be elevate me a coon. No more numbers di was at is no. They believe that number 9 no ever a lot of meanings. And the idea omo answer was at the back of a year omo shirt no. De biara omo ensu etimidim knim whatever they do. If you look back now when number 9 a man for number 9 no ensu etimidia ye adwuma. I'm not talking about Chelsea, and as I'm not limiting my conversation as I'm speaking currently about Chelsea. But so number 9 for now, and as more master number 9 at the Ababoa. One case you can testify the kind of a new man or more media. You talk of Nansenya Crano, the number 9 for no Lewandowski mo on Luis Suarez mo and Suarez and number 9. Look at them, the kind of performance they gave with that number 9 shirt at their back. That is what we are talking about. Because number 9 in America, more numbers, you know, and him say number 9, say Ukumwa. They have a lot of implication. Our creativity, our that prosperity, our that creativity, and a whole lot of things are. Number 9 for GD is no more ends to etimiko. And no more Masaji number to catch or say number 9. Our numbers game, no more a fortunate number, a finishing number. Number 9, no any players netikeke. And nothing number 9 as a striker. Because in numbers game, no number 9, Chelsea will be our finisher there. And all finisher there, it's about you giving us the goals are also with me. But about Chelsea, and yes, I didn't know because we Chelsea Bobo. This is Tony Cascarino. The first person I wish Chelsea number 9 was this wonderful man. Share Chelsea number 9. This was the goals he gave. 6 goals in 2 seasons. The player says number 9 gets no more 6 goals in 2 seasons. Well, everyone says season because he wasn't fit. In the season, we are no 15 matches. About who for free? What's it? We need Chelsea. I'm talking from the time Anna and Abramovich era. No, for the first time, let me give you the year.
Yes,
now to me,
let me know about
how the year no year.
I was I think 40 bar for that's why joining any idea.
Can beat her.
Memo year no year.
Pe no man, many beje pa.
Memo year this is year. Now
what no. Adwuma na wo dia ba no. Obey na me bisa question.
Oh, we need problem.
Who's the what shall say cheche mu na number bi won na you win.
Omo di numbers no me dey bebra o. Numbers game no.
Ba me die number more football. Nti
oh yeah sure.
Convince me ne.
Me convince.
Me ma hwefo. Yeah, gidi say number and more football. To convince me.
Baku in the year 1992 to 2000.
Oh okay.
Ko na unia eso etimi ball ni Jesse na odi sa adwuma de match Chelsea 1992 to 1994. Those 2 years, 6 goals playing in 2 seasons. No, they might team a friend Chelsea. Or no free honor. Or more bet to associate number 9 days in the match Chelsea. No, they gave something good. This is Max team. 25 goals across 63 games. He gave goals. Yes, he gave goals. Because from 1994 to 1996, he was able to give this number of goals. Then, one of the most successful number 9s at Chelsea in their history. Opening a friend Gianluca Vialli. He gave them goals, won trophies for them, and later on, let's have the coach team of Chelsea.
Why late with you?
Yes. From 1996 to 1999, he came and he gave Chelsea goals. Or no, his shooting before I just it wasn't something good. 1 league goal in a season, 1999-2000. It wasn't something that we can say number 9 and so intimate. Then came the last person to have won the Chelsea number 9 setup. He's giving good account for himself. Opening a friend Jimmy Fleur Hassenberg. He's the last person to wear the Chelsea jersey. Gave them goals and gave them trophy. A lot of quality performance. If you look at him, the first season, he gave 26 goals. The second season, he gave 29 goals. Since then, but in all, he gave Chelsea goals. And then we move on to Ayamedesbra. This was the last person I watched Chelsea number 9 years ago. Now they are here, Juma. When they say, "Oh, my mouse are picture," but maybe they are having issues with much in Tina and S20. Then comes Abramovich era. Matija Kesman was a man. He was highly respected and he was highly thought. He will be one of the best number 9s in world football. He was coming from PSV and now Omujilidipa. This was what he was able to give Chelsea. 4 goals in 25 games. It's not something Obekase the papa and the match me friend Chelsea. So also he left. And a free Abramovich era neighbor Omo Chelsea number 9 days, you know. Omo lasted more than a season at Chelsea. Omo lasted more than a season at Chelsea. So this was what he was able to give. Hernan Crespo by. On any day, no. Untimi nkase wama goals. And for my Chelsea. But so any reputation. And the number of goals are now. And I said, you know, I had Inter Milan. Before I said, oh, Rome, our team in front of Chelsea. And Nunti the man number 9 was because he was injured like 4 months at Italy. But still, he was able to give something good for team in front of Inter Milan. Even in the Champions League alone, in 12 games, he scored 9 goals. And in 13 games in the Serie A, he gave 7 goals. So if you look at the numbers, to be able to give that sort of numbers, Chelsea, he was a good striker. And we know Hernan Crespo. He came to Chelsea first, number 21. No man from any call by, or by any number 9. And he gave 13 goals in all competitions in the Chelsea. Crespo numbers 13 goals. It's not something good for team of any Chelsea. And Crespo has 7 years coming. So, and also the end now. But la rules mo dia remember say me can was because no one striker. Number 2 be fan number 9 just you can't say o dia no yastic. Onu ja no ho no Steve Sidwa be share ono so wasn't a striker so me say me wuram me say me komu ho. But so if you now call another striker Franco Di Santo 2008-2009 he was a player of Chelsea number 9. Another number 9 was an upcoming footballer. Now he can get things done. But Bayern no man to me and call Amfamano not a single goal. You know, to share any match to me Chelsea. 16 appearances, 0 goal with the match to me Chelsea. That be and papa. Then you free now you may come on. And from 2008 to 2009 was shared this in the year. It took Fernando Torres 2011 to 2014 before I saw all Wi-Fi days. It tells you say I want to say number 9 days in the area issues were home. If you look at Neoma and Fernando Torres, I had my team friend Liverpool, and how Chelsea fans celebrated the signing to Chelsea. And my Liverpool for no crab for your mom just tells you say he was a good striker in the time and not on influence kind. And Obia will bear me witness. Just as Fernando Torres we are talking about, one of the fine number 9s that you can get in world football, and what he was able to give. It took him 903 minutes to get the first goal for Chelsea. And he was able to give 45 goals in 172 appearances. In terms of numbers of goals, very good. But this is Fernando Torres we are talking about. Which no man know with Liverpool, no man know in world football. And for him to give that kind of goals, and the number of minutes he needed to score that goal for team of Chelsea is what we are talking about. So number 9 is still Echo. So one of number 9 no money. But this is Fernando Torres. One of the number 9s are Obedino Honkomo. Whatever Fakye was someone that na MON-FRI because Obama you can MON-FRI. And I tell you for no fire. Me that deal not be named the internet Chelsea for a year. But if you look at him, 12 appearances, 1 goal. That be Vladimir Fakye. Nansinya Krana and him say we know. You know what rival Kano. So this tells you that he is a number 9. What's the ball in world football? When you are talking about number 9, sir, what share goals in the Spanish La Liga, in European competition. You know what they Chelsea after they won the 2012 Champions League Super Cup. We saw what he did to them. But about Chelsea now, 12 games, 1 goal. It's not something that Obama get me the home come. Mami Alvaro Morata. This is a guy that he came to Chelsea with a lot of prospect. 72 games, 24 goals. In terms of goals, good. In terms of say all my numbers, good. But he wasn't able to last at Chelsea the way I Chelsea for the super because of that number 9, Casano. So the number 9 seemed to be a case for team of Chelsea. Or back to Chelsea, about just number 29. And just number 29, no crown the man he give you that 24 goals. So it tells you say a brand he knew something was wrong with the number 9 jersey. He went out, he came, and decided to go for the number 29. It should tell you something. Jeffrey when I didn't go anymore. Maybe Gonzalo Higuain, 2019. These are strikers are we tried and tested. Strikers are we tried and tested in world football. Gonzalo Higuain came to Chelsea, wore the jersey number 9, gave 5 goals in 19 appearances. It's not good for a striker like Gonzalo Higuain. We all know him, and we know the kind of things he brings to the table. Mame Temi Abraham. After so impressive on loan, Aston Villa. Or by Chelsea. Because not Chelsea under transfer embargo. One thing Chelsea was under transfer embargo. So with that, not Chelsea to me market and far players and back. So they needed to let the guy play. And he did. And in 82 appearances, he gave 30 goals. A very good account for a guy who fit the academy and also the academic graduate. You won't doubt the capabilities. You won't doubt the performance. 30 goals in 82 appearances. I think that it was good. Number 9, 2019-2020, Obosa, 18 goals in 47 appearances for team Chelsea. And Chelsea qualified for the Champions League. The following campaign, Abranten also Timber Lusu form. Also 12 goals in all season because of injuries and other things are Nanoma and so Ekoso. But if you look at the numbers now, he will go down as one of the number 9s and what Chelsea they gave good goals. So for that, I'll give it to Abranten friend Abraham. Give me Romelu Lukaku. This is a player that all but Chelsea, he wanted to duplicate Neoma Didier Drogba here Edmund Akimi friend Chelsea. He came for the first time, Neoma and Farman. But when he was shipped out of Chelsea, he went to West Bromwich Albion, he gave goals. He went to Everton, he gave goals. He went to Manchester United, he gave goals. He went back to Italy, Inter Milan, he gave goals. He came back to Chelsea and was not able to give Chelsea that kind of performance. He went back to Italy and he's still giving goals. So if you look at Romelu Lukaku, anybody wabo, teams are wabo, any goals he's been able to give. Now he gave only 15 goals in 58 appearances for Chelsea. That should tell you there is something wrong with Chelsea's number 9. Nobody can tell me that. Emre Aubameyang, 2022-2023 season. 21 appearances. He gave 3 goals. This is a fine striker near him how good he was. And yet Chelsea no free or call but no free but about Chelsea. I don't know if he was soon about Chelsea. When he went there, he was giving them goals.
Yeah.
Arsenal, he gave them goals. The baby Abrante we have ball. Dot Momo. AC Milan can he was able to give them something. But he came to Chelsea, 21 appearances. He gave 3 goals. This is no good numbers for a striker of his caliber. It should tell you something is wrong with Chelsea's number 9. In 2 parts are there. The strikers in Chelsea's history they've given good account for themselves. They decided to avoid the number 9 jersey. Didier Drogba, number 11.
There was no 11 year iconic number.
Yes, I am the
iconic number. Yes, because strike is the ABOU. Strike ABOU. Acquire was the share say one can no be anymore. Chrysotimus and not to be the striker.
Okay.
Strike is the ABOU. There is apart from Fernando Torres or your top striker. Mauza Kwabi Diaba, Ebenezer Lord, Ebenezer Ford. Odu Gonzalo Iguandi and our standard.
We are talking about a striker and he's what goes.
Alright, Gonzalo Iguandi. Yes. Your strikers be able to conform more than a man and be show more. No, they wouldn't uncle for a car. Fakye over Chelsea no nya DIABY.
But call you Akoshe goose.
Akoshe goose.
Or call rival can.
Papa Beg.
He went near him to what sound.
Monaco cry was scoring.
No, someone now could read na. Or Bobo Hokoshe goose there. Yes, a man you will than ever.
Or free Chelsea. Or free Chelsea. So 12 games now share 1 goal in my Chelsea. Or he did more than that. That is what we are talking about. Oba no wasa. Maro free Chelsea coin or yeah then.
You know you've done a marvelous work pa no power. But me or to say Chelsea number 9. You never share top player be the Cristiano Ronaldo and Messi. Number 9 the Anderson.
There is nothing like Messi coming to Chelsea.
Me on to say me on to say me who play this and number 9. Because omo abubo mu dini na. I say only as Oba Chelsea na wie.
You see, of free hawk.
Aubameyang be na wie. Everyone no ya brand here. No na dey dey to so 80 something matches 30 goals.
30 goals to Chelsea. But he was moved on. When Chelsea had the opportunity to bring in strikers, he was playing because Chelsea had no option. They were under transfer embargo. So one maybe Sam Famaye. And he was playing. He's been able to be or show goals to be kakra. No, Aubameyang come and say who are you
top strikers are odi obudi ABOU ni mu nyina. Obi ani so woni pick probable Chelsea bia no. Is the numbers and service be impressive.
With or more.
Yeah, or more because
With Chelsea.
Hasselbank. Gianluca Vialli. Fernando Torres and any bad. And we Torres the crowd is all come when you're not lasting more than 1 year.
Lasting more than 1 year.
What has it? And over a bit to say Timmy Abraham not yet top, but a younger year no Peter. At least say normal. Lukaku do no ni Chelsea as no di can be no changes in number 30 say 50 years crown so numbers dey kwaku David
and I make catch us omo numbers di no because the number 9 your creativity, prosperity and your finish and it's a number that good. Number 9 for we are some more number 9 go back and look at them. They gave goals, but Chelsea's number 9 is becoming something that any present. Me refi man fa sare na mom. Sa coach man fa mom. O refer to Masukia. He says he believes that the jersey number 9 is a curse.
No.
And players they running away from this number 9 because they feel that this is number 9. Players are better. They are not being able to give us the kind of performance I hear.
You see, sometimes nipa your mentality e di enya kakra.
Sure.
I had a chance to speak with coach Bibi Money DBDT. Na the coach in the catch him in my show.
Okay.
Ose na omo kobo match bi. Na ye dey 20 players in the team say adru bobo. At you also time no omo ko e warm up your omo ba no. The leading marksman na polybag bi da. No we chi kakra no kezo. Onfa polybag ni nye dey. If you ba kwa na anti otene so say onfa polybag ni she. The mo kan who's no. On fan share ho no de share. No train long goals. Your ball you na guy na bo hat-trick. Coach ni gina no aba. Coach ayi na ka 7 fan show ni no say dey ade. Was it polybag na da ka 7 fan show. Was it that make ka say fa to no. So we want share coach papa na share coach Ismail ni bia. But we be do sika. But enye true. Mentality no. Who that me catch us e. O dem mami edu me da bia me mama adwuma me ni say mo best. Mon kope jersey number 13. The record with Michael Ballack. Monday, mobile will discuss. Mama, my jersey number 13. The record with Michael Ballack. Michael Ballack, yeah, Ballack, yeah. Oliver Cousin, the ball Chelsea. Oba be discussed. Now, my men, some more diviso. Jersey number 12, number 13. Because I didn't know Germany and Pimpi goalkeepers nation. And your mom believe no. But me, committee. Well, you can choose a beer, oh my member 10. Into quoting the average number 10. Sure. Yeah. And one is the last time by a fantastic analysis of Bruno Guimaraes. It was solid one. On the mature. Maybe I'm a member year 2, JC number 2. Oh my member, you believe. But me JC number. Obia more as I do it my convincing example. Because it just differentiate between players are. And one of the two are teams. Every England is it. England national team apart from some major tournament. England more friendly matching da. Abro bi be shesenga na ma de atranche. And also me de ama kona kore. England for omo more friendly match da. So I Frank Lampard crowd now here. When Rooney o tin chen abehye different number atranche. Omo ma won share number within 1 to 11 atranche da.
That's their belief. And it's because of the traditional numbering. Number 1 is for goalkeepers. Number 2 to number 2 to number 5 was for defenders. That was because of the traditional numbering. But anyhow, as if first season, Obia on the favorite number. The number 9 was Chelsea. As a young guy, you don't come and say, maybe Mama bet you have for number 9. That be you need to me say Drogba number 9. Dio Costa number. I mean, when a to a we now bet mark a crown. He chose not to wear the number 9 for team of Chelsea. Do you think they don't know why? They don't know the reason why they decided not to get a number 9 just for Chelsea. They had a reason. Even a come on by 39
no penal. Our mentality.
That should tell you there is something in there.
Akrawi.
Never what to throw.
Akrawi. It's Man City for Akrawi. Otiano number 9 have a set the goals. Otiabu. The first is Delap. Who have you?
Or number Chelsea number 9.
That Chelsea has a club crowd. My so. Omo win iconic number biao. Chelsea iconic number. Because Chelsea isn't a big club. I don't know how can no more gano. Chelsea and no dey na be 18 kesi o. Say Chelsea the only thing a man looking unique in is omo ni omo discover bombe short 20. O team na enso.
Omo odis ni enkwala.
Set team na yeti am 2003 di buy na Chelsea. ABOU a later day saying for the
Yes.
But once say Obo team it is Manchester United, they will get an iconic number for you.
Yeah.
Real Madrid binye bi ama. Barcelona binye bi ama. Liverpool binye bi ama. What I say? But the other teams bi more such as there now they are 2 and 3 ba.
Yeah.
And these are all your striker ni akoto abana na mana fian we hu na da wa so.
Because players no be successful in Chelsea season, you know, many of them strikers they not to go for number 9 jersey. So it's a task, and so that make also what he believe, and he believes that he can get a number 9 jersey and get the goal for team and Chelsea. He never higher. But for me, there is something wrong with Chelsea's number 9. So if you want to do good, tell me Abraham on one name komo, non call a Hassan Van Honen name komo, because these are 2 players they won the number 9 jersey and they gave goals. So probably you take a clue from them because Maka obi we are so only be ni bia be ne kuno. Say one number bi ko onye hwendi na ye catch you say aha ukoi o share we the ko we na sia. You need to advise yourself even when you don't believe it. If you go to Rome, do what the Romans do. There are a lot of things me but me ko ba bi na catch them say because of study nti ma me nya me ko kodifo yes ma me vo ado nsha me ho because you do what an so a na duro wo ho a regardless say paracetamol kran e ya don be hawadi obi ya so de ne ko ho na so yes so that means say wo ko ba bia land bia na de govern land so you need to make sure say you understand these things, go in there and make sure say you are doing the right thing to so we number 9 there
na e no nya spiritual
and na make say sanity e mra
Chelsea number 9 we
but Chelsea number 9
susuguna
man to me and far more and a young guy like him I don't expect him to do the number 9 for Chelsea. You need to think about a different number babe. Just any number any number that a bed buano because in American it's okay. Our new number 9. This is what I love.
So like seems people are really interested in way now way. How's the route for that? But then I'm team South American football so much passion and energy. I'm for guesting ABOU Morata Dinwaha. Ebenezer Ford. Although you want to be a good striker in Chelsea, better take the 29 jersey. Look at the life of them Baba, Diego Costa, Morata, no Diaka, Eri Rama, Captain Bossu, Captaino Boss. There's an issue behind the Chelsea number 9 jersey. And the issue is that the person who used the number 9 to score more goals after his death, they bury his intestines at where they play the penalty at Stamford Bridge. The striker name is Peter Osgood. Hey.
You
seem also one of the players that are about it. Oh, I do win on my show. I may do baby addition.
Of course.
So you also the Nedi but so I'm sharing there. And I who cheer shirt to any power. Papa Brazil Ricardo, please check your records for because Aubameyang scored more than 3 goals for Chelsea. Until ever check it. Why near now we so Aubameyang gina Ebenezer Ford. Also Iguain there was Saturday. Na Kwame Baden. Torres lasted more than a season senior. And they aye hu adwuma na dia na ade teso a the Crespo asem no kan obi says AC Milan or Inter Milan. Crespo bo Inter esam bo AC Milan. The never say ke baby ofi esan ba Chelsea no. It was Inter and san ofi wa ko AC Milan. Ti obo teams na mienu. Why? What you like from why in fact you are the best amano.